In a quiet part of space, far from Earth and its old stories, an alien research ship called the Zoraf drifted silently among the stars. The crew was busy with their usual tasks, studying strange signals and mapping uncharted systems. But everything changed in an instant when a loud alarm blared through the ship. Red warning lights flashed, and the calm atmosphere turned tense. Captain Lena Carter rushed to the control room, her boots echoing on the metal floor. She was human, but she had lived with the Zorathi for decades after being rescued as a child during humanity's great exodus from Earth. Her second-in-command, Cal Doran, an alien with glowing translucent skin, stood at the main console, his long fingers moving quickly over the controls. "What's happening?" Lena asked, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. Cale looked up, his expression serious. "We've picked up a signal. It's human." He hesitated before adding, "A warship is heading this way." Lena froze. Human? A warship? Her mind raced. She hadn't seen another human in over 30 years, not since Earth fell silent during the collapse. The thought of encountering one of her own kind filled her with both hope and dread. Humans were known for their strength and determination, but also for their aggression. If a warship was coming, it wasn't here to make friends. The crew buzzed with nervous energy. Some whispered about the possibility of attack, while others wondered if this could be a chance to reconnect with humanity. Lena stepped closer to the console, staring at the data scrolling across the screen. The signal was clear. A human war vessel is on the way. Whoever they weren't hiding their approach. Cale glanced at Lena. "What do we do?" he asked quietly. His glowing skin dimmed slightly, a sign of his concern. Lena took a deep breath. "We prepare," she said firmly. "But we don't provoke them. We need to show that we're not a threat." As orders were given and the crew sprang into action, Lena moved to a quiet corner of the control room. She leaned against the wall, her thoughts drifting back to Earth. She remembered her childhood friend Ryan Hayes, who used to dream of joining the military. She wondered what had happened to him, and to all the others left behind when Earth crumbled. Was this warship carrying people like him? Or had humanity changed beyond recognition? Cale approached her, breaking her train of thought. "You seem troubled," he said gently. Lena nodded. "It's been so long since I've seen another human. What if they don't see me as one of them anymore? What if they think I'm an enemy?" Cale placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "You don't have to face this alone," he reassured her. "We're with you." But Lena knew it wouldn't be that simple. Humans were unpredictable, especially in situations like this. She couldn't afford to let her guard down. As the hours passed and the warship drew closer, the tension aboard the Zoraf grew thicker. Everyone braced themselves for what might come next. Finally, the moment arrived. On the main screen, a massive human warship appeared, its sleek design glinting menacingly in the starlight. Weapons lined its surface, and its sheer size made the Zoraf look small by comparison. Lena felt a chill run down her spine. This was it, the moment of truth. She stepped forward, ready to speak. Whatever happened next would change everything. For her, for the Zoraf, and possibly for the future of both species. Lena stood in front of the main screen, her heart pounding as she stared at the massive human warship. The ship's name, *Eclipse*, was written boldly along its side in bold white letters. It looked powerful and intimidating, like a predator ready to strike. Lena took a deep breath, trying to steady herself. She knew this moment would define everything that came next. "Open a communication channel," she said firmly, her voice cutting through the tense silence in the control room. Cale nodded and pressed a series of buttons on the console. Moments later, the face of a man appeared on the screen. He had sharp features, a square jaw, and cold gray eyes that seemed to pierce through the screen. His tactical visor glowed faintly, and his uniform marked him as someone important, a leader. "This is Commander Alex Grant of the Eclipse Asterisk," he said in a deep, commanding voice. "Identify yourselves." Lena stepped closer to the screen, making sure she was visible. "This is Captain Lena Carter of the Zorath Asterisk. We mean no harm." Her words were calm, but inside, she felt anything but. She watched Alex's expression closely, searching for any sign of recognition or emotion. For a moment, there was silence. Then Alex leaned forward slightly, his brow furrowing. "Carter," he repeated, his tone changing. "You're supposed to be dead." Lena's stomach dropped. She hadn't expected this. Somehow, her name was familiar to him. "I don't know what you've heard," she replied carefully, "but I'm alive, and I've been living with the Zorathi for many years now." Alex studied her for a long moment before speaking again. "The records say you were lost during Earth's collapse. No one ever found you." His voice softened slightly, but it still carried an edge of suspicion. "How did you end up with them?" Before Lena could answer, another voice cut in from behind Alex. A younger man stepped into view, his face flushed with anger. This was Lieutenant Jake Monroe, and it was clear he didn't trust her. "It doesn't matter how she got here," he snapped. "She's a traitor. She left humanity behind." Lena felt a surge of frustration. "I didn't leave anyone behind," she shot back. "I was a child when Earth fell apart. The Zorathi saved me. They gave me a home." Jake wasn't satisfied. "And now you're working with aliens, helping them against us." "That's not true," Lena argued, her voice rising. "We're explorers, not soldiers. We're not your enemy." Alex raised a hand to silence Jake, who reluctantly stepped back. "Enough," Alex said sharply. Then he turned his attention back to Lena. "We need answers, Carter. Why are you out here? What are you doing?" Lena hesitated. She wanted to explain, but she also knew she had to be careful. Trust didn't come easily, especially in situations like this. "We're researchers," she finally said. "We study the stars, ancient artifacts, things like that. But we're not involved in any conflicts." Alex frowned, clearly unconvinced. "Then why did our sensors pick up traces of advanced technology near your ship?" Lena froze. She hadn't expected them to know about that. The Zorathi had recently discovered fragments of something strange, an artifact they couldn't fully understand. They had been studying it quietly, hoping to learn more. But if the humans knew about it, things were about to get much more complicated. Kale stepped forward, sensing Lena's hesitation. "Commander," he began, his voice calm but firm, "we have no intention of causing trouble. If there's something unusual near us, we're just as curious about it as you are." Alex studied Kale for a moment, then nodded slowly. "Fine. For now, we'll hold position. But this isn't over, Carter. We'll be watching you." The screen went dark, leaving the control room silent once again. Lena let out a shaky breath, feeling the weight of the situation pressing down on her. She turned to Kale, her mind racing. "They know about the artifact," she whispered. "What do we do now?" Kale placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We stay calm and think carefully. Whatever happens next, we can't let them take the artifact, or turn this into a fight." As the crew began preparing for whatever might come, Lena retreated to her quarters. She sat alone, staring out the window at the endless expanse of stars. Memories of Earth flooded her mind. Her childhood, her friends, the chaos that followed the collapse. She thought about Ryan Hayes, her old friend who had dreamed of joining the military. Had he survived? Was he somewhere out there too? But most of all, Lena wondered if peace was even possible. The humans aboard the Eclipse Asterisk were unpredictable, and their intentions were unclear. One thing was certain: the fragile balance between the two ships could tip at any moment, and the consequences would be enormous. The tension aboard the Zorath Asterisk was thick as the crew waited for the next move from the Eclipse Asterisk. Lena spent hours pacing in her quarters, trying to figure out what to do. She knew Commander Alex Grant wasn't going to leave without answers, and she also knew Lieutenant Jake Monroe wouldn't hesitate to accuse her of betrayal. The situation felt like a ticking bomb, ready to explode at any moment. Cale found her in the middle of the night, still awake and lost in thought. "You need rest," he said gently, his glowing skin dimmed in the soft lighting of her room. "You can't face them if you're exhausted." Lena shook her head. "I can't sleep," she admitted. "What if they attack us? What if they try to take the artifact by force?" Cale sighed. "We've faced difficult situations before. We'll handle this too. But you have to stay strong. For all of us." Reluctantly, Lena agreed to get some rest. But even as she lay down, her mind wouldn't stop racing. She kept thinking about the humans on the Eclipse Asterisk. Were they truly here because of the artifact? Or was there something else driving them? The next morning, the communication channel opened again. This time, Alex appeared alone on the screen. His expression was serious but less hostile than before. "Carter," he began, "we need to talk, face to face." Lena hesitated. Meeting with him would be risky, but refusing could make things worse. "Fine," she said after a moment. "But it has to be neutral ground. No weapons." Alex nodded. "Agreed. We'll send a shuttle to your ship. Just you and one of your crew members." As soon as the call ended, Lena turned to Cale. "You're coming with me," she said firmly. "If anything goes wrong, I'll need someone I trust." Cale didn't argue. Together, they prepared for the meeting, knowing it could either ease tensions or spark disaster. When the human shuttle docked with the Zorath asterisk, Lena and Cale stepped aboard cautiously. The interior was sleek and metallic, with a faint hum of energy running through it. 2 armed guards escorted them to a small conference room where Alex was waiting. He stood as they entered, his sharp eyes scanning them carefully. "Captain Carter," he said, gesturing for them to sit. "Thank you for coming." Lena took a seat across from him, keeping her posture relaxed but alert. Cale stood slightly behind her, his presence reassuring. "Let's get to the point," she said. "Why are you really here?" Alex leaned forward, resting his elbows on the table. "We're searching for something called the Genesis Core. It's an ancient artifact that could give its owner control over entire star systems. Our sensors detected traces of it near your ship." Lena's heart sank. She had feared this. "We found fragments of something strange," she admitted, "but we don't know what it is or how dangerous it might be." Alex frowned. "That's why we're here. If those fragments are part of the Genesis Core, they're too powerful to leave in anyone's hands, including yours." Lena felt anger rising inside her. "Are you saying we can't be trusted? After everything my crew has done to survive out here?" Before Alex could respond, the door burst open and Jake Monroe stormed in. His face was red with fury. "Enough talking," he shouted. "They're hiding the artifact. We should take it by force." "Stand down, Lieutenant." Alex barked, standing up to block Jake's path. For a moment, the room was filled with tension so thick it felt suffocating. Jake glared at Lena. "You abandoned humanity. You sided with aliens. Why shouldn't we treat you like the enemy?" Lena clenched her fists under the table, fighting to stay calm. "I didn't abandon anyone," she said through gritted teeth. "I survived. And I built a life here, with people who accepted me when no one else did." Alex stepped between them, his voice firm. "That's enough, Jake. We're not starting a war over this." He turned back to Lena. "We'll work together to figure out what these fragments are and decide what to do with them. But I need your cooperation." Lena hesitated. She didn't fully trust Alex or Jake, but she knew arguing wouldn't help. "Fine," she said finally. "But if you break your word, there will be consequences." As the meeting ended and Lena returned to the Zorath asterisk, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of a much bigger problem. The humans were unpredictable, and their arrival had already caused cracks in the fragile peace aboard her ship. Whatever happened next, she knew it wouldn't be easy. Back on the Zorath whispers of distrust spread among the crew. Some believed Lena had made the right choice by agreeing to work with the humans, while others thought she was putting them all in danger. The tension grew thicker with every passing hour, and Kale found himself struggling to keep the team united. Lena, too, felt the weight of the situation pressing down on her. She knew that both the humans and her own crew were watching her closely, waiting to see if she would make a mistake. But what worried her most was Lieutenant Jake Monroe. His aggressive behavior during the meeting had shown he wasn't interested in cooperation. He wanted control. And if he decided to act on his own, it could spell disaster for everyone. Meanwhile, aboard the Eclipse Commander Alex Grant faced challenges of his own. While he had agreed to work with Lena, not all of his crew shared his cautious approach. Jake Monroe led a small group of officers who believed the Zorathi couldn't be trusted. They argued that the Genesis core fragments were too valuable to leave in alien hands, and they were willing to take drastic measures to get them. Late one night, as the two ships exchanged data about the artifact, chaos erupted. A squad of armed humans, led by Jake, boarded the Zorath without warning. Their movements were fast and precise, catching the Zorathi crew off guard. Alarms blared through the ship as Jake's team stormed toward the chamber where the artifact fragments were stored. Lena and Kale sprang into action the moment they heard the commotion. "What's happening?" Lena shouted as they ran through the corridors, dodging panicked crew members. "It's the humans," Kale replied grimly. "They're here for the artifact." When they reached the chamber, they found Jake and his men already inside. The glowing fragments of the Genesis core sat on a pedestal in the center of the room, pulsing faintly with an eerie light. Jake stood over them, a smug grin on his face. "Step aside, Carter," he ordered. "This doesn't belong to you or your alien friends." Lena stepped forward, her voice firm despite the fear coursing through her. "You don't understand what you're dealing with. If you take those fragments, you could destroy us all." Jake laughed coldly. "That's a risk I'm willing to take." He motioned to his men. "Grab it and let's go." Before they could move, Kale activated the security protocol, sealing the doors and trapping everyone inside. The room fell silent except for the hum of the artifact. Jake turned to Lena, his expression darkening. "Open the doors, or I'll make you regret it." Lena shook her head. "You're not leaving with that artifact. Not like this." For a moment, it seemed like Jake might attack her. But before things could escalate further, a new voice cut through the tension. "Stand down, Lieutenant." It was Alex, who had arrived with reinforcements from the Eclipse. He looked furious as he entered the chamber. "What part of work together did you not understand?" Jake scowled, but lowered his weapon. "Sir, these aliens can't be trusted. We need to secure the artifact now, before." "Enough," Alex barked. He turned to Lena, his tone softer but still serious. "I'm sorry for this. Monroe acted without my orders." Lena crossed her arms, her frustration clear. "Your people are out of control, Alex. How can we trust you if you can't even control your own crew?" Alex didn't have an answer. Instead, he signaled for his men to leave the chamber. As they filed out, Jake shot Lena a venomous glare. "This isn't over," he muttered under his breath. Once the humans were gone, Kale released the lockdown, and the Zorathi crew began repairing the damage caused by the intrusion. Lena leaned against the wall, feeling drained. "They're impossible to deal with," she said to Kale. "How are we supposed to stop them from trying again?" Kale placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We'll find a way. Together." But deep down, Lena knew the real battle was just beginning. The Genesis core was too powerful to ignore, and neither side was willing to back down. As long as the artifact remained in play, peace between the humans and the Zorathi would remain fragile, at best. The days that followed were tense and uneasy, Both the *Zorath* and the *Eclipse* remained locked in a fragile standoff, each side watching the other closely. The Genesis core fragments, still stored aboard the *Zorath*, became the center of everyone's attention. Lena knew they couldn't keep the artifact safe forever, not with Jake Monroe growing bolder by the hour. One evening, as Lena sat alone in her quarters, Cale entered with an urgent look on his face. "We have a problem," he said quietly. "Jake and his men are planning another raid. They've been gathering weapons and supplies." Lena sighed, rubbing her temples. "I should have seen this coming. He's not going to stop until he gets what he wants." Cale nodded. "We need to act before they do. If we destroy the fragments, no one will be able to use them, including Jake." The idea was drastic, but it made sense. Destroying the Genesis core fragments would eliminate the threat entirely. Yet it also meant risking open conflict with the humans. Lena hesitated, weighing the options. Finally, she stood up. "Let's do it. But we'll need Alex's help. If he knows the truth about the artifact's danger, maybe he'll understand." Together, Lena and Cale arranged a secret meeting with Alex aboard the *Eclipse*. When they arrived, Alex greeted them cautiously, his sharp eyes scanning their faces. "What's this about?" he asked. Lena wasted no time. "The Genesis core is too dangerous to exist. It has the power to destroy entire star systems, and Jake isn't thinking clearly enough to realize that. We want to destroy the fragments." Alex frowned, leaning back in his chair. "Destroy them? You're asking me to let you destroy something my people have been searching for decades." "It's the only way to ensure no one uses it," Cale added. "If the fragments remain intact, someone will try to harness their power. And it will end badly for all of us." For a long moment, Alex was silent, his mind working through the implications. Finally, he nodded slowly. "Fine, I'll help you. But if this goes wrong, my crew won't forgive me, or you." With Alex's reluctant agreement, the plan was set into motion. Under the cover of darkness, Lena, Cale, and a small team from the *Zorath* worked to move the Genesis core fragments to a secure location. Meanwhile, Alex kept his own crew distracted, feeding them false information about a malfunction in the ship's engines. But as they prepared to destroy the artifact, disaster struck. Jake had somehow learned about their plan and led a group of armed soldiers to intercept them. In the narrow corridors of the *Zorath*, chaos erupted. Blaster fire lit up the dimly lit halls as both sides clashed fiercely. Lena fought alongside Cale, dodging blasts and trying to reach the chamber where the fragments were stored. At one point, she found herself face to face with Jake, his weapon pointed directly at her. "You think you can stop me?" he snarled. "You're nothing but a traitor." Lena didn't flinch. "This isn't about betrayal, Jake. It's about survival. For all of us." Before Jake could respond, Alex appeared behind him, grabbing his arm and forcing him to lower his weapon. "Stand down," Alex shouted. "This ends now." Jake struggled against Alex's grip, but eventually relented, glaring at Lena with pure hatred. With Jake disarmed, Lena and Cale finally reached the chamber. Using a specialized device, they began destabilizing the Genesis core fragments, causing them to glow brighter and brighter until they imploded in a burst of light. When the dust settled, the fragments were gone, destroyed forever. The tension aboard both ships slowly eased as the immediate threat vanished. Though mistrust lingered, the shared experience of averting disaster brought a glimmer of hope for cooperation between the humans and the Zorathi. As repairs began on both ships, Lena allowed herself a rare moment of peace. The road ahead would still be difficult, but for the first time, she felt like coexistence might actually be possible. With the Genesis core fragments destroyed, the immediate danger had passed, but the aftermath left both ships battered and bruised. The *Zorath* sustained heavy damage from the fighting, its corridors scorched and systems failing. The Eclipse wasn't in much better shape, its sleek exterior marred by dents and burn marks from stray blaster fire. Both crews worked tirelessly to repair their vessels, knowing they couldn't survive long in deep space without fixing the worst of the damage. Lena stood on the bridge of the Zoraf, watching as her crew moved with quiet determination. She felt a mix of pride and exhaustion. They had faced an impossible situation and come out alive, but the cost was high. Trust between the humans and the Zorathi remained fragile, like thin ice that could crack at any moment. Still, there were small signs of progress. Some of the human engineers had begun helping the Zorathi crew with repairs, sharing tools and knowledge. It wasn't friendship, but it was a start. Kale approached her, his glowing skin dimmed slightly, a sign of his fatigue. "The repairs are going well," he said, offering a faint smile. "But we still need more time." Lena nodded. "We'll get it done. We have to." She glanced at the viewport, where the Eclipse loomed nearby. "Do you think Alex will keep his word? Will he really leave us alone after this?" Kale hesitated before answering. "I think he wants to, but he has his own crew to answer to. Not everyone on that ship trusts us, or him." Lena sighed, knowing Kale was right. While Alex had proven himself willing to cooperate, others like Jake Monroe still saw the Zorathi as enemies. Lena had seen the look in Jake's eyes during the final confrontation. Hatred burned there, and she doubted it would fade anytime soon. On the Eclipse, tensions were just as high. Commander Alex Grant faced a storm of criticism from his officers. Many accused him of letting humanity down by allying with aliens and destroying the Genesis core fragments. Jake Monroe was among the loudest voices, pacing angrily in the command center. "You gave up our chance at power," he shouted. "For what?" "To make peace with them." Alex's patience was wearing thin. "Power isn't worth destroying ourselves over," he snapped. "If we'd taken those fragments, someone, human or alien, would have used them to start a war. Is that what you want?" Jake clenched his fists but didn't respond. Instead, he stormed out of the room, leaving Alex alone with his thoughts. The weight of leadership pressed down on him. He knew he had made the right decision, but convincing his crew of that was another matter entirely. Despite the challenges, small acts of cooperation continued between the two ships. Lena met with Alex regularly, discussing how to move forward. During one such meeting, Alex admitted his fears. "My crew is restless," he said. "They don't understand why we're helping you. Some of them think I'm weak for trusting you." "And my crew feels the same about me," Lena replied. "But maybe if we keep working together, they'll see that we're stronger united than divided." Alex nodded slowly. "It's a risk, but I think it's worth trying." As repairs progressed, the crews began interacting more. Shared meals replaced tense standoffs, and conversations, even brief ones, became less guarded. Lena noticed that some of the younger human officers seemed genuinely curious about the Zorathi, asking questions about their culture and technology. It was a small step, but it gave her hope. One evening, as Lena gazed at the stars from the Zoraf's viewport, Kale joined her. "Do you think this will last?" he asked softly. "I don't know," Lena admitted, "but I do know that we have to try. If we can find a way to coexist, even after everything that's happened, maybe there's hope for all of us." Far away from Earth, amidst the vastness of space, a fragile alliance began to take root. It wasn't perfect, and it wasn't easy, but it was a beginning. And sometimes, beginnings were enough. The repairs on both the Zoraf and the Eclipse were finally nearing completion. The scars of battle still lingered, burn marks on the walls, patched up hulls, and weary faces, but there was a sense of accomplishment in the air. For the first time in days, the crews of both ships felt a glimmer of hope. They had survived not just the fight, but also the mistrust that had nearly torn them apart. Lena stood on the bridge of the Zoreth, watching as the last of the damaged systems came back online. Kel walked up beside her, his glowing skin brighter now, reflecting his renewed energy. "We did it," he said with a small smile. "The ship is ready." Lena nodded, though her expression remained thoughtful. "The ship is ready," she agreed. "But what about us? What happens after this?" Cale didn't answer right away. He knew the question wasn't just about logistics. It was about trust, about whether humans and Zorathi could truly find common ground. "We'll figure it out," he said finally, "one step at a time." Meanwhile, aboard the Eclipse Commander Alex Grant gathered his senior officers for one last meeting before departure. The room was tense, with some still glaring at him for his decisions. Jake Monroe sat silently in the corner, arms crossed, his anger simmering just below the surface. But Alex ignored the hostility and spoke firmly. "We're leaving soon," he announced. "Our mission here is over." "Is it?" Jake muttered under his breath, loud enough for everyone to hear. "We came for the Genesis core, and now it's gone because of them." Alex turned to face him, his tone sharp. "The Genesis core would have destroyed us all if we'd kept it. You know that as well as I do. Sometimes, doing the right thing means letting go of power." Jake looked away, unwilling to argue further, but the tension in the room remained thick. Alex sighed and continued. "The Zorathi helped us repair our ship when they didn't have to. That counts for something. If we can learn to work together, maybe we can build something better than war." When the meeting ended, Alex made his way to the Zoreth for one final discussion with Lena. As he entered the control room, he found her staring out at the stars, lost in thought. "Carter," he said, drawing her attention, "we're almost ready to leave." Lena turned to face him, her expression calm but guarded. "And then what? Do we go back to ignoring each other? Pretend none of this ever happened?" Alex shook his head. "No. I think we've started something here, something important. Maybe it's not perfect, but it's a beginning." Lena studied him for a moment, searching for sincerity in his words. Finally, she nodded. "I want to believe that, but trust takes time." "I know," Alex replied, "and I'm willing to give it, if you are." As the two ships prepared to part ways, a small ceremony was held in the shared docking bay. Crew members from both sides gathered, exchanging quiet words and handshakes. It wasn't a grand celebration, but it was meaningful. For the first time, humanity and the Zorathi stood side by side, not as enemies but as tentative allies. Before the Eclipse departed, Alex extended his hand to Lena. She hesitated for only a second before taking it. "Thank you," he said simply, "for everything." Lena smiled faintly. "Take care of your crew, Alex, and yourself." As the Eclipse moved away, its engines humming softly, Lena returned to the bridge of the Zoreth. Kel was waiting for her, his expression soft. "Do you think they'll keep their word?" he asked. "I don't know," Lena admitted, "but I think Alex wants to try, and maybe that's enough. For now." The Zoreth drifted silently through space, its crew united by the challenges they have faced. Far away from Earth, amidst the endless stars, a fragile alliance had taken root. It was uncertain, imperfect, and full of risks, but it was also alive. And sometimes, that was all anyone could ask for. Lena gazed out at the vast expanse of space, feeling a mix of hope and determination. Whatever lay ahead, she knew they would face it together, not just as humans or Zorathi, but as survivors who had chosen peace over destruction.